بعت لي ماتيريال الشيخ. بعتها عندك ولا على ال...
اللي تفضل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today's topic, and welcome you to our lecture about Fatwa online. The first question is about Bitcoin, the electronic currency. The question came from one of the brothers. He said there's a company comes with renting the computer machine to do the currency, and you can use these computers, and the computer is different in speed and different participation. If you pay 500, it gives you a great certain speed, and of course 1000 double. And this difference is every day, and every different the profit goes to your own account, and you can do whatever you want to with it. And if you talk, and when I talk to one of my friends to benefit from this and to join the, you get more people, the more people you get into this. Of course, I will start with a simple money. That's not going to affect me. My question is about Bitcoins. The 15th conference for AMJA about the IFTA, they looked at two important issues in financial one. The first one, how you're going to do with inflation. The second thing is evaluating the Bitcoin. What they say, the electronic money currency are numbers to a currency. It is an electronic fund. It is used as a tool that is paid ahead of time without need to have a bank account to deal with any. The problem with it, it's not recognized by none of the or most of the central banks, and it's not accepted by any bank, and there is no guarantee from any government, and it's not under any check and balance from any company, any government. That will increase the risk part and easy way to use it into illegal activities. And also they said that it's still early to adopt a final rule on the electronic currency. Consider the following, because it's one of the calamity that it is its truth are very dark, where you don't know a lot of economics, they don't know how to deal with it, so you have to take all kind of precautions in dealing with it, because it really has a great risk. And whomever refuses except to deal with it, then it has the same rule of currency. You have to have the equality and to receive when it is the same. Gold with gold, silver with silver, dollar with dollar. It has to be equal, to unround this kind of deal.
عند اختلاف الجنس يشترط التقابل فقط.
When it is different, then you have to receive. The dollar and euro, or the dollar and real is different. You have to hold, because Rasul said, if they are different, if sell as you want, but as long as in your hand. So, how about using the computer and buy to take and to make these to make it manufactured. Now, to know something is different. The Sheikh saying that we as scholars understanding the issue, it what makes you make a better verdict. Like, how are you going to make this kind of currency? If you're going to buy this something with a different currency, then you have to have all and you are paying ahead of time and waiting for what comes back to you. Or there's something else. As we said, in electronic money, it is too early to adopt a final verdict on it. And to make a rule into how you manufacture it. We need to understand more of it. Because we have to have an accurate understanding so you can bring all the Shara issues that has to do with this issue. The fatwa is to know the required. So you have to understand the reality, the facts. You have to know all the facts before you could make a verdict. And then you bring all the rules that control any issue. So if you combine both of them, then you have a good fatwa, بإذن الله تعالى. And this issue is still under investigation, under research, under study, and we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to allow us the understanding. And your patience on us, because this is something new, we have to understand it. And I want to say, you want to make our backs as a bridge on the Day of Judgment. Say Ibn Abbas made this fatwa or Ibn Umar. No. So be patient with us, inshallah. The other question here, the value of a cat. Don't laugh, please. The cat is a pet. Dealing with it is better than dealing with the dog. If you have to deal with an animal, dealing with the cat definitely is easier and better than the dogs. So whomever had a dog, unless it is for guarding or livestock or hunting, then you lose a qirat every day. With all this pressure to bring the dogs to our houses and in our prayers, we have to steadfast. The guidance of the Rasul, whomever had the dog, that's not for shepherd or for hunting or guarding, then he will lose a qirat of every day. Imagine if you have two qirats of every day. What kind of work do you do every day to get that qirat? I think we talked last time. In our fatwa, in our mawqa, inshallah, it's very detailed, inshallah. But today, it's about the value of the dog, of the cat. Most of the scholars, they say it is allowed to sell the cat. Some they say it is not liked. It is a sort of the hate of not to forbid. So some of the scholars, they said it is forbidden. Al-Zahiriyya, they said it is forbidden. And there's a narration from Imam Ahmad also. And al-Mundhir said it on behalf of Abu Huraira. And this is a reply on someone that it is a weak hadith. No. In the Sahih Muslim, that Abi Zuray said, I asked Jabir about the value of the dog, as-Sinur, which is the cat. The Prophet ﷺ on this. And in the hadith of Jabir Abdullah, he said the Prophet ﷺ forbid for the value of the dog and the cat. And it is in Abi Dawud. And now he said about those who weaken it. That's wrong, mistake by the way. But it is in Muslim with a good narration. But in the understanding of it, the understanding of meaning. For those, and the majority, they said it is forbidden on the forbidden of not likely not to forbid. So if you go to sell a car, then don't. If you're gonna buy it for a need and you can't but accept that, then you can, because the rule, the things that are not liked are waived when there is a need. The rule, what is the rule on the lenses on the woman that changed that color? This change of Allah's creation, we say the using the medical colored lenses, it is okay if there is no harm on the eyes. And there is no cheating to someone, or if someone coming to for engagement or for marriage, and not to make beauty for men. This is not change to Allah's. This is something you put it and you take it out. What you change to the creation of Allah is something that's permanent, like tattoos. But the eyebrows, I mean the makeup, it's not permanent. And the lenses that does not hurt the eyes medically and is showing like different people, it is as long as not any of these, then no cheating, then it is okay. Another question: can people wear something that says alcohol, just not to promote but to wear it? My brother, the alcohol company didn't do that except for marketing. Why did they make it? Why they manufacture? If you don't want to promote something, then don't wear it. It is prepared for advertisement. I know you are a Muslim, you have good intention because you are looking and you're asking. So I thank you for doing this. But all these companies, they did it only to promote it, to advertise it, and didn't you know that the cursor, it has so many, 10. So don't be among them. May Allah shall bless you. So stay away from it. And alhamdulillah, there is plenty of things. Imagine you're going into the masjid and you have on and you have a t-shirt that shows that promote alcohol, and the Prophet ﷺ has cursed the people who do it. So I wish for you that you stay away from it. Whether question about raising the having the beard, and we are in United States. I don't know what he is affected with. From those who want to force people to shave it, then he need to be infected. But I tell him, may Allah bless you, you're President America, make it easier. It's very easy. The beard here, you cannot, it's not forbidden on any military or any position. It's opposite from a lot of Muslim countries and society. A lot of the Muslim countries, they forbid the beard completely. And from the things, amazing thing, that a soldier in one of those, he was taken to a court because he refused to shave his beard. So he said, I want to know the mufti. He said, I follow the Shara. I need the ifta area to bring, and the lawyer helped them, and they got the ifta area. The fatwa came in, which is historic. It's still registered in history. It's an amazing thing. Allah told them what did not happen nowadays on others. He said, to whomever shaved somebody's beard forcefully, he have to be the D, like he killed someone. And it's not required on someone to follow the command of somebody. So this is amazing word about shaving the beard. The meaning here that your President gives you more freedom into having the beard if you want to. The problem is with you, not with your President in the United States. This is country gives you the right to do whatever you want. Give you the right to have your beard or not to have it. And that is not allowed in some countries. So the problem is within you, not what you feel, and it's not the rules of this country. So no doubt, having the beard, it's from the required, and it's shaving from the forbidden things. And the things are, the needs are different. Some people who, if you have security issues, then they have a different reasons. And this is, but originally you let go of your beard, and it was not the only in Islam, it was before us. But even in the Jews, Harun said to his brother Musa, "Oh, don't take from my hair on my head or my beard. Don't pull me from my beard." So it's not a new thing that Islam came up with. So I hope that you encourage yourself and to allow you Allah Azza wa Jal to do that. A good woman asked, about, I do research, and my record, I was required to make research on smoking and how we're going to promote smoking cigarettes and how we're going to make it successful. And this case study, nothing, it's just a theory, as it is in most of the research that happens in our countries, unfortunately. But I am telling you, this is within the study, and that's it. At the end of the day, it's just to the trash. But this is required for me. I have no other alternative. What shall I do? So we answered. We tell her, first of all, forbidden of the cigarette after it was shown that there is sure that is going to have harm. Before, it was not sure that there is a harm or they can kill you, but now it is required by law that it is that the cigarettes are gonna major killer, and it's one of the major heart attack and other issues. So there is no argument about that is bad for your health. So it's very clear that it is harmful. So it certainly is forbidden. So to promote its products and to fix it, it is help into something that is a sin. Allah told us not to help each other on sin. But it is easier if what you are saying is right. Just as a research case study that is not required to any action, and that will not be promoted anywhere. Anyway, my sister, if you can get yourself out of it, that's good for you. In particular, with the religion that Allah Azza wa Jal showed you that you are wearing hijab in an area where there is no. But you see the other. There's difference with sufur, which is to show your face, but tabarruj is to show everything. So the battle is about the battle between the hijab completely or to open the face or not. It's not about the makeup and other stuff. And until now, in the deep of the villages, this woman's face is naked. Who have this is an indication what people used to be 50 years ago, where the origin was to have to cover. Anyway, the face, about showing the face or not, it is disputed thing. The majority that you can show it, unless a woman who is very beautiful that's going to affect the woman, then she is required to cover her face. And we tell her, with the religious practice of religion you do have, and with the other one, and you cannot get yourself out, then stay within the limits that you put. Another question from a brother: can you put, like, you take money and take pay a company to guarantee the loan? The answer, the insurance on the loans is an insurance, and the insurance that is wrong, and the contract is wrong, because in AMJA's decision that the commercial insurance that the insurance companies are using from different forms, from different contracts that are wrong, that bring a lot of riba and injustice.
الذي تقوم به شركات التأمين الإسلامية والتأمين الاجتماعي الذي تقوم به الدول والمؤسسات العامة في واقعنا المعاصر. ثم أردف القرار.
Then they said, what is forbidden of the commercial insurance, what is intentionally meant, but what is part of other contract, and cannot be taken, that is not from the forbidden one. The prayer, what is the fire prayer? It sounds like an innovation. Don't give us. Don't think that we know everything. Allah is the one who knows everything. Please put what is the fire prayer? You have to explain, so we can tell you what are you talking about. So inshallah, give us more details, so we'll be able to answer inshallah. Is the Hajj, can a person who were oppressed to say about the oppressor, oh Allah, oppressed, so have revenge, or Allah don't like to make public of harm? Allah said yes, He don't like to public the evil, but the rest of it says Allah don't like the exploit except for them who are oppressed. Then whomever was not, he can make dua publicly. It's just like you say that the poets are forbidden, but Allah said, except for those who believed and did the good news. And Abnas with Thabit, I was the poet of the Prophet ﷺ. And he to say this poetry in front of him, and his comments are harder than the arrows. So you make the dua, but whomever are patient and forgive, this is from the great matters. And whomever corrected and forget, Allah will reward him. But at the day of judgment, where are those whose word on the merciful? Only those who forgive people. So you can make dua, don't exceed in your dua. But you ask more than what you were taken from you. Someone took 10 days. Oh Allah, cut his house and kill his wife and all his kids. All of this over $10? No, that's too much. Make your dua equal. Otherwise it will be exceed what is value. Allah said that every dua is accepted except if he is asking for a sin or to cut the ties with. Is the Hajj required on women just like men? And the husband, can he do Hajj without his wife because of the expense? Allah said, you are required to Hajj, whomever can. And this goes into men and women. It is required men and women. But there is condition for requirement. The capability, the physical capability, the financial capability, that you could travel and you have the expenses. And the woman on top of it. By the way, the husband is not required to pay for his wife's Hajj. If he did, that's good. Allah accept from him.
من البر من حسن الصلة من النقل والأصالة
And that's of his
هل يلزمه
goodness. Is it required on him? Allah will, but no. The woman has the capability, welcome. But if she don't, Allah did not require her to begin with. So, even though that she have the will and the love, or with all these emotions, to Allah, right, to like the Hajj, inshallah. Allah, the Prophet said that there is in Medina, there's men that wherever they go, they are with you. They were locked because of an excuse. So those who are going to the house of Allah, you went with your bodies and we went with our souls. We have an excuse, and whomever have the excuse that he have traveled. If you put router to have internet in the houses, but this is used in haram. This is a neutral tool. Now we have, if we not have internet, we will not reach you, nor can you reach us or to tell us what we're doing. We let you hear it and the message of Allah through the router on the internet. So this is a natural tool. Every soul is required for what it did. But of course, if the action is for wrong, like don't make this router in a nightclub. This is a place of or a gambling place, or but in institutions, in schools, in university, this is a tool that could be used in halal or haram. So it should not be any problem, inshallah. My father, he had an apartment in a place, and my grandfather has forced my father to give that apartment to his sister. What is the punishment of the mother and her daughter of what they did to my father, and they're taken for their well, you and your father, to your father, but does not mean that he could use it to take anything to take to someone else, unless there is a need. If I'm a father and I have a son that has 2 apartments and one are homeless, I forced my son with the 2 apartments to give one to his son. I did not do wrong to him and take it to make a gamble in it. I took it to put a brother of his and take him out of lost. Sometimes the issue might look bad from the outside, but the details could be different. So we take in general, you and your father to your father. This is true. This is not to ownership, to allow. This is to allow the right of the father to take from his son what he needs, without permission, without telling him, but within the need. It's not from the need to take one of the sons to give the other just for entertainment. For this will bring a problem and envy. So, my brother or sister, if your grandmother did out of oppression, this is something wrong, and we ask Allah forgive her. And if it is for an interest, a real one, so I hope that to forgive you for the wrong thinking of your grandmother. And some of the issues You cannot make the fatwa from a different. We have to more investigation, research, inshallah. May Allah open your heart to give whomever is in need, and to give the ties, the family ties, for whomever cut the ties. I mean, what is the rule? Whomever killed a dog, if it is waste, then it is okay. But if it is something for garden, you cannot. And whomever acts like that, then he have done wrong. But the stray dogs, no, it is allowed to kill. The country, it builds apartments and sell it from 20 years. And I don't deal with the bank, but the country does that from the bank. And I don't deal with the bank, I deal with the country. Is that type of riba? Well, it depends on understanding the issue. The apartment, it is there as lien. The interest riba in there, but if there is the need and the calamity in some societies, 90% of its men don't have a place to live. They cannot marry because of that. So there is a public need, and there's limited, and the income does not enough to make 1 month rent. If this what there's a point, then is the public need with the things, maybe. But to make it in a specific country, in a specific situation, it needs the place. You find a mufti in that place who can tell you. Some of our countries are in that need, but I cannot dare to say it in a form, in a place, unless I know all the details. So I ask you to go to a mufti in that area who can tell you, inshallah. The pictures that is it the making the statues, or is it the taking pictures, or the or painting? It has both, because our mother Aisha, when there is no statues, but it was painted, because it was the Prophet when he denied that on her, so she cut that curtain and she made it 2 pillows that he used to sit on them. What is forbidden could be that has but if the head is there and not the body, it's okay. Some scholars, they said, added, if that picture, it cannot live on it, if it is alive, like if you have cut part of the bed, and then everything beyond, he cannot live in that form. Or if the picture is all to the heart and everything is not there, you cannot have that alive. So some of the scholars, they said it is okay to have a partial part. to remove what you cannot have love with it, then it is okay.
وطبعا احبابي يستثنى من هذا وهذا
The exception for that,
المجال التعليمي
if it is educational
المجال الامني
or security,
المجال الامني والمحاطه بالمجرمين
to follow the criminals
الهويه
or your IDs and passport. On al-da'wah, sometimes
عن
the pictures you make on
الجريمه
or a crime on a place
تغني عن 1000
is better than 1,000 lectures.
محاضر فهذه استثناءات
These are exceptions. If there is an interest for the picture, it is okay. Just like the dolls for the kids. Like she said, I used to have dolls, I used to play with them. He alayhi salatu allowed her that, and he allowed her in his household. Alayhi salatu wassalam.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. هل يجوز للأب
Can the father, if he's isolated from his kids and he had only one that worked with him and he made a house, can the house give it to him? The father, he needs required to be equal with him. If he's the only one who worked with him, he could evaluate his work and give him for it. I have as a father, I finance this house 50%, and my husband 50%. Whatever he shared, it's his right with no other share. But what I did is inheritance, and with justice is establish the heaven and earth. So you cannot do wrong. The son who worked and the other sons who did not share what their brother did, because they have that right. Someone who worked all night, he read the night prayers after sunset. Good, alhamdulillah. The night prayer that you do it from till Maghrib until Fajr. And by the way, after Maghrib is Qiyam Layl. Whatever you pray between Maghrib and Isha is part of the night prayer. But it is at night. That's why it's called the night prayer. But whomever slept over a part, then he prayed during Duha. 15 minutes after sunrise. Until like 15 minutes before Dhuhr. The last question, we finish with it. Changing the intention from charity to pay for the sister. I was going to do $500, but then I changed my intention to give it to my sister who needs more overseas. Is this okay? He's saying, I have an old debt. I was going to plan to donate it. I give it to my sister who lives overseas. The giving is not connected with the, so if not collected, it's okay. I made a pledge to Mishka for $1,000, for example, out of the honor and nobility, a good manner to fulfill that pledge. But it's not required on. You cannot tell me to the court. Can say Midhat is required to $1,000. Either you put him in prison, or you pay him. The judge cannot do that. there's no force on the good doers. And they said the evidence on this, that it was promised. If if a merchant he bankrupted and he have got too many debts, more than what he can, the judge said he's bankrupt, and to divide the money among the percentage of each loan. They say, Nasser, from those who need money. So we got to, he said, what's your, it's a pledge he brought to the masjid. Can he stop to make the pledge with the true debt? No, because that's not a true debt. This is a requirement of nobility. So it's a good intention. If you find something better, you have a sister who's close overseas, so we hope it is required. With an extra thing that the Malikiya added, if you put him in a problem, then you're supposed to pay, and he is required to pay it. They told him, get married and I'll give you an apartment. And he got married, oh, I'm not gonna give it to you. No, you can go to the court because you put him in a problem. He wasn't gonna get married. You encouraged him, and then all of a sudden you stopped. On the Maliki, if you put him in a problem, then you are required. This is not with the majority, but this is, we say, you fulfill it if you put him in a problem. Inshallah, we'll continue, inshallah, on Thursday.
المترجم لا ننسى ايضا اعضاءه ولا ننسى